Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Voices with Partners from the Turkish Philanthropy Funds. I am your host, Elmira Bayraslı, and today we are going to have a really fun and interesting conversation about STEM and coding. And we are joined today by Gülcan Yayla, who is the co-founder and CEO of Kodluyoruz, which translates into we code. Is that right, Gülcan?
Yeah, perfect.
Great. Sometimes my Turkish translations are a little off. That's okay. She graduated from Orta University, Middle Eastern Technical University, which is one of the top universities in Turkey. So my hat off to you. In industrial engineering, and she studied, she got her MBA at Washington University in St. Louis. And she's worked at Eczacıbaşı Holding and the World Bank. And she co-founded this organization, which we're going to hear a little bit more about in 2009, and returned to Turkey to do it. And so she's been doing that full time. She is actually joining us from Washington, D.C. Is it snowing in Washington? It's snowing here in New York City.
No, it's pretty good today.
Yeah. So nice winter wonderland outside in Brooklyn. Also joining us is Alp Onalan. Did I say that correctly?
Well, depends on who you ask. Yeah, Alp Onalan is just fine, but Alp Onalan, or any combination of that is good.
No, I want to pronounce it the correct way. He is a board member with us at Turkish Philanthropy Funds, and he is very active philanthropist in the Turkish American community in Seattle, which is where he is joining us from. He is a software engineer manager at Microsoft, which I'm sure that all of our viewers have heard about, if not have used. And he has worked for various startup groups developing software products during his 16-year career at Microsoft, and now works on the Windows Azure Cloud Computing Group. He's also worked for TÜBİTAK in Turkey, where he was part of the TR Net Group, responsible for establishing the internet infrastructure in Turkey in its early days. So I thank you so much for actually getting Turkey wired and up and running.
Yeah, that was a privilege of mine. You know, it's right out of college, so it was great. Yeah, thank you.
Great.
So it was exciting times as well. By the way, I look back at those times and find it really exciting even today.
Great. I'm particularly really excited about this discussion. I know I'm always excited to talk to the organizations that TPF partners with, but this one is actually a very special one, which is very focused on the kind of the digital realm and what we call STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. So Gülcan, I'd love to kick off with you. Could you tell us a little bit about what Kodluyoruz is, what its mission is, and why did you start it?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Elmira, for hosting us here. It's great to be with you and up today. So Kodluyoruz is a social enterprise in Turkey that our aim is to make Turkey a talent hub in technology. So we want Turkey to be one of the center countries where there is a huge tech talent that is helping the country both economically and both socially as well. So we started it 4 years ago, seeing the huge problem of youth unemployment in Turkey. As you know, Turkey is one of the youngest countries, which is a great potential. There are so many bright people aspiring to have really good lives and good careers for themselves. But at the same time, 1 in every 3 people are unemployed right now in the country. So it's a huge crisis. The unemployment is increasing over the years as well. In the past 4 years, it increased. On the other hand, when we look at the companies, what they are looking for, we see that there is a huge demand and growing demand in technology jobs. And if you talk with any technology company right now in Turkey or around the world, the number one problem that they will tell you is we cannot find qualified people to employ. We are looking for new people all the time, but we cannot find them. It prevents our growing and our potential as well. So then you ask this question: why, when there are so many people looking for jobs, and why, when there are so many companies looking for these developers to employ, why cannot they meet with each other? And then we started digging into the statistics, and we saw that people graduating from computer science in Turkey, they are one of the most unemployed group in Turkey. They are in the top 10. And when we talked about it, it was unbelievable. People were like, wow, why can't these people find jobs if they are really studying computer engineering in the classroom? And then when we look at it, not only in Turkey, but around the world, there is this a widening gap between schools and the sector right now. When the tech sector, which I will tell you much more, much better than me, when the tech sector is really developing fast, it is bringing new technologies, you have to constantly update yourself. The schools, I mean, it is kind of unfair to expect from the schools that they will be at the same pace with the universities, with the sector, right? So let's say there's a new technology coming up, a new framework that people will need to learn. But how can we expect a university or a high school to bring up a new teacher that can teach this? So that is kind of an impossible job. So that is why around the world, especially in developed countries, we see this concept of coding bootcamps, which is basically really upskilling places, very hard, very intense trainings to place people into jobs and to train them for these new jobs that are waiting for people. So we started this 4 years ago in Turkey. I met with this bootcamp concept when I was studying my master's in the US. I was inspired by it. I was deeply moved by it as well. I did my master's in St. Louis, one of the most, one of the poor areas of the United States. The organization I met with, they were really training these people that's maybe didn't even go to college or really coming from disadvantaged backgrounds, and they were placing these people into jobs. And I was like, wow, and when I looked at Turkey, I didn't see any organization like this, because either they were very expensive where people cannot afford, or there were really, short courses that doesn't really prepare people for tech jobs. So we said that why wouldn't we really train these people in really quality boot camps and train the next developers of the country that they need, and then place them into jobs. And right now, I'm so proud that in only 4 years, we are right now in 15 different cities of Turkey. Everywhere we go, we look at the local businesses, what they need, what kind of tech jobs exist in here, and then we just find the driven, really bright, really, people who have dreams, and mostly people, unemployed people coming from disadvantaged backgrounds, and mostly women. And we train them and place them into jobs. And I'm so happy that we have more than 1,000 people right now have jobs. And we see having a job as something that not only produces an income, but also gives self-respect, self-esteem to so many people, because unemployment, it is a very, very hard thing for a young person. And I'm so proud that so many people started their first job in their lives. Some of the women, especially after really leaving the sector, maybe after they becoming mom, or just for several reasons, they came back to the employment and with a really good income as well. So we are really proud of making this change in the country, and I can tell you a little bit more about it, but this was our motivation, the gap between the sector and the youth.
Well, I mean, I have to say, I think it's awesome that this is an organization founded by a woman and a woman entrepreneur, and that you're really focused on also including women, is particularly in this sector of technology, where I think a lot of people often overlook and forget that women are equally as talented as men are. And so I applaud you for that. Now, you said that there were 15, you're operating in 15 cities across Turkey. I'm assuming that there were 15 boot camps then.
There are more than 15. This year we had in total more than 50 boot camps at least. So what we do is we talk with companies, we look at their demand. Like, for example, are they looking for a web developer, or are they looking for a data scientist? For example, in Istanbul and Ankara, Izmir, data scientists are more in demand, let's say. And in smaller cities, it is mostly like smaller businesses looking for web developers, to help them grow. So based on what the city needs, we trained people based on that.
And then can you just tell us very briefly a little bit about what does that training look like? Like, what is, like, if I, if I was interested in joining a boot camp, like how would I sign up, and then what does it look like? Is it a week-long project? Is it, do you do it, once a week? Can you tell us a little bit about what that looks like?
Yeah, so our bootcamps have two components. First, the technical training, two, the soft skills training, and the community support. So anybody can apply to our bootcamps, but our focus is mostly on unemployed people, or those who are gonna be in the labor market soon. So those who are gonna graduate very soon and start looking for jobs. So these people apply. In general, we accept around 500 applications per class. And then we send them a coding test. First of all, like we need some algorithm knowledge beforehand. So we also send the resources to them to study, to take the test. And then once they take the test, we interview them, and we really look at their motivation. Are they really driven? Are they decided to really build a career in technology? And do they really need our support? Because we would really like to support people who cannot afford an education outside a training us. Because we are totally free, we really want to find the people who need this training for free. And of course, like we prioritize women as well. And then we open a class with 30 people out of these hundreds of people. And from there, our journey starts. One of the things that we are proud of is our trainers are people like Alp. They are already very experienced in the sector. They know what the businesses are looking for, and they teach these people during the weekend.
Oh, we lost your audio, I think.
Do you hear me?
Okay. Oh, I think you're still muted.
Okay, do you hear me now? Okay, great, sorry. So it takes around 2 months to train the people. So there is this technical training part. Every weekend, they receive the training on Saturdays and Sundays. But during the week, we support them through soft skills training, like how to interview, really how to find your own story, your own life story, and how to tell about it, how to improve your interviewing skills and everything. And at the same time, we have something called alumni club, like universities having alumni club. We have our alumni club too. That is one of the most important part of Kodluyoruz, because so many of these young people, what they are looking for is not only a training, but what they are looking for is a community that are like them, that are dreaming like them, that have, that are dreaming of a better life for themselves, but at the same time struggling too, because it's not an easy job what they are trying to do, build a career for them from scratch. So we put them in this community where they are working together, even during COVID conditions. They open their computer and until maybe 2 a.m., 3 a.m., they code together, they give feedback to each other and everything. And one of the top things that they tell us is that Kodluyoruz gave us not only a training, but also friends. I was alone, I was isolated, I was feeling, inadequate. I was feeling like I wasn't gonna achieve anything in this life because, I didn't have any chance. But now I have a community that is supporting me. And when one of us is, our motivation is dropped or something, all our classroom friends are supporting us to go through this process. And some of them even said that I have never seen a community like this in Turkey, because we are mostly, at schools we see competition, whoever wins the exam, whoever is the first one in the exam, they are going to do something. But here the opportunities are endless. So we just want them to support each other, and they do. So they go through this process for more than 2 months. And afterwards, we start preparing them for interviews. We do mock interviews and prepare their resumes, and then share them with our partner companies.
That's great. So you're providing educational knowledge, you're also providing a community, but then you're also helping them with professional development.
Yeah.
Alp, I want to bring you into this conversation as somebody who is in the technology field. How do you view the importance of Kodluyoruz and how they are adding value into the STEM field in Turkey?
It's profound. I think I'll start with saying that, like, software industry or software in general, it can be really a workforce in any economy, especially in this economy, in this world of ours right now, where there's there's a lot happening, where there's a lot of wealth being generated, where there's a lot of like value being generated in the industry. Like it can be a catapult for any country and for any society to essentially lift, like kind of equalize the opportunities, like provide employment, and kind of level the fields a little bit, for people, because if you look at like, we've been talking to friends as an example, like just recently, like, when I look at myself, like, like other people that actually that are in this industry doing like working for like these great companies, Microsofts and Googles and Facebooks and all these like big name companies. I mean, if you look at us, people might think, oh, like, they're like, there's like, oh, these people are really smart or this and that. There's none of that actually. It's just about opportunity, and working hard, yes, but essentially having the opportunities, seizing the opportunities that are there. But opportunity comes also with, like, with a little bit of a little bit of economy as well. Like if your family or background is, if you're already struggling with a lot of economic, like, problems in your in growing up, I think that kind of like hampers your ability a little bit to move around, like, somewhat. So I think software can change that. There's a lot happens in this. A lot has been happening in this land, and working for a company like Microsoft, I can say that we don't have enough talent, enough skilled people to essentially come and man these projects of ours, where we are literally, like, just imagine what has changed in the last 20-30 years, like that. Actually, we can have this kind of an environment, or you can have like carry phones around, and it has literally changed the society, and it's going to continue to change. This is actually only accelerating. This is just the start. Now we have the AIs, we have the holographic experiences, AR, like augmented realities and virtual realities and whatnot. This is just starting. And there we don't have enough people to essentially even man these, essentially like supply the demand that this industry generates. And why not Turkey, or any kind of any kind of community for that matter, to essentially seize this as well? And when I thought that, like, countries like India, China, these are superpowers in the software land, and why not Turkey become that? So I grew up in a somewhat of a smaller town in eastern Turkey, Erzurum, and I went to a I got the opportunity to go to, like, to ODTÜ and whatnot. When I look at the country and the people, the young people that we have in the country, especially young, especially the demographics from an age point of view, in the country, there's tremendous opportunity, and the software does not really take much. You don't really have to have like big factories or like big this and big that. All you need is like access to internet and maybe like a somewhat of a computer that actually you can code on, and you can learn a lot from online, resources as well. There's not a shortage of opportunities and or learning resources that are online today. And Gülcan and team, Kodluyoruz, is I see them as a fuse to essentially to unleash this potential, because what they are doing, which I'm really feeling really excited about, is essentially they open this box of Pandora. It's like they kind of like make this, show people what is possible. They kind of open their minds. They show them around. They kind of like introduce them to this land. And I think I'm very happy to play my part. And by the way, I'm actually speaking for a lot of people who are like around me, who are actually supporting Kodluyoruz as well. Like, I have a lot of engineer friends of mine who actually join Kodluyoruz's bootcamps and we talk with them as well. And we kind of like, we say the same things, to our friends, to our young brothers and sisters in Turkey, or actually for the communities over or around here, that actually that they can learn coding. They can essentially improve themselves. They can find resources. You kind of show them around a little bit, such that now they can walk that. Now it's up to them to walk that path. I want to kind of like leave it at that, and see maybe like talk later. But in my mind, what Gülcan and team has done is it's amazing. And I think they are. Of course, we work with Turkish philanthropy funds, works with many organizations, and they're all superstars. But I think Gülcan and her team is definitely superstars. She's from my college as well, by the way. And I kind of talk about her to some of my friends, because some of us, most of us, went to ODTÜ and got through the regular channel. Okay, well, you did get your degree, and what do? You go and work for a big name company. That's the hit thing. She did actually something really special in my mind. She actually started something that she can unleash the potential in others. I think that's very profound as well. She's a big hero of mine. So.
Oh, that's great. And can you you mentioned that you and some of your engineering friends help support Kodluyoruz. Can you tell us how do you do that? What is that?
Yeah, I will. Actually, again, I speak for a lot of people around me here in this area, especially. So I think one of the first things that actually we kind of did was we supported Kodluyoruz with some cash initially. I think it wasn't much. Gülcan is very capable of essentially raising funds as well herself, which I realized when I actually met her over here in Seattle. She's very capable, and I admire her a lot because of that as well. But the other thing, the second, I think the harder thing is essentially to kind of inspire people. Not harder, but essentially it's a very important component of this. I think our goal was to kind of talk to reach out and talk to these younger brothers, sisters of ours, and show them, look, we were once kind of in your shoes, trying to figure out, oh, how does this whole thing work, and what can we do. We are kind of trying to say, we were not very different. There was nothing special about us. We just had the opportunity. We just walked that path that somebody else opened for us. It's like a little bit of a paid forward culture as well. When all of us here, I was speaking of myself and most a lot of people, we are standing on other people's shoulders. Not just our families, but our teachers, other friends of ours, our communities. I'm look, I went to school in Turkey, and I didn't pay a dime, getting a computer science degree in Turkey. And now my kids are going to college over here, and I'm kind of writing checks for them. I kind of know how much it is to get an engineering degree around here, and we paid nothing, right? So you realize you actually standing on the shoulders of not just your teachers, but the entire country. That's the tax dollars that paid for education. So in some ways, I think the goal is to kind of show these friends of ours in Turkey, to say, look, you can walk this path, and if you walk this path, this is how we walked. This is where we came. You can walk this path. You can find your own path as well. But there's a path essentially from where you are to essentially where you want to be. And in fact, if you actually can be a little disciplined, you can learn a lot online. Kodluyoruz shows them the path, but then, in my time, there was no Khan Academy, there was no MIT lectures that were online, there was no GitHub. Imagine, you can work with top engineers around the world on a really amazing software project by sitting in your home. Even resumes are now built online. Now, at Microsoft, we hire people, and guess what? If somebody can show us their GitHub alias and what kind of check-ins and projects that they have done with other people around the world, that is a resume for you right there. So that's what we are trying to show our friends.
Well, I just want to comment. This is actually the spirit of what Turkish Philanthropy Funds is about, and you talk about paying it forward.
Yeah.
And you went to Ortadoğu University, as did Gülcan, and you didn't pay anything, but you're still committed to Turkey and to the betterment of that. And I have to say, I think this is one of the reasons I'm so happy to be a part of TPF, because of not only organizations like Kodluyoruz, but also individuals such as yourself and Gürcan and all the people who are viewing in, because I think there is a real commitment that we as individuals can actually give back and contribute to this country that I know that I hold so dear in my heart. I was born in the United States and grew up here, but still I consider myself the daughter of Turkey, and I'm so passionate about making sure that I pay it forward and that I can help people back in Anadolu, the land.
And we see that in you, by the way. We see that in you definitely. Like, if you didn't tell me that you were not born in Turkey, like, it wouldn't make any difference for me, or that doesn't. But because we see that in you, like, I think our connection to where we were born. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we are very active within the communities. I'm sure all of us are in the very communities that we actually live in as well. We try to do this around us over here. But I think it's not like this term in Turkey. Oh, you made it, like a quote unquote, and like now you're like you kapattım, like you went to now in the USA, and now everything is. It's not like that. I think once actually you realize, once you realize, okay, well, you're here for a reason. Like, it's nothing like, what can you do? It's not just like we not only try to like, kind of show that path to our friends, but essentially it's like I find that as a duty, because we still have that connection with the country, right? We like that we were born in, and also of course, like when I look at like around me over here, I grew up here. I mean, if I say that like I don't have a connection over here, that was also wrong. I think I now feel like I am attached to these two countries of the two great countries like in the world, like both here and Turkey, and I think I want to you want to continue that like connection. You don't want to lose any of that, like and I want to kind of like say that from especially from a software point of view, there's a lot of potential in Turkey. I mean, why not essentially raise the country's kind of the outlook of the country by just one industry. Again, it doesn't really need much, and once actually you have a workforce, you have like enough volume, it can be another superpower in my mind. So
great. Gürcan, I wanted to ask you, now that we're we're going into almost a year with having this global health pandemic of COVID-19. I'm sure that the coronavirus has impacted your work. You're talking about how the boot camps, they run their workshops for about 2 months. Can you talk a little bit about how Kodluyoruz has adapted to the COVID-19 situation?
Yeah, actually, COVID-19 kind of helped us discover new opportunities for our students. So first of all, most of the companies that we work with, they are mostly in tech, and they adapted relatively quickly compared to other sectors. So there was an opportunity to remote work, for example. Like most of these developers that we train, they didn't have to go to the workplace remotely. And when the first COVID case in Turkey was announced, we said that, okay, right now we are in a risky situation, so we cannot risk any of our students. Normally we train people in a classroom environment because it is obviously much better. You see people, it is, it's a better community like that. But then we said, okay, we are switching everything to online. We didn't know. I mean, we were kind of anxious about it because are people really going to continue the classes? Are they going to be engaged as much as before and everything? So we were kind of, okay, let's see it. But at the same time, we have a great team that I'm proud of. We really, just some kind of found some ways to support people more because it was online training. One of the biggest challenge of online training is it is so easy to be isolated and just drop off. But I'm proud that our attendance rates increased after we switched to online. First of all, it helped us to accept more people to our bootcamps around the country. For example, for our game development bootcamps, we opened it to all people around Turkey. Right now, from all 81 cities, it helped us just have some people in our bootcamp, because the companies that we were partnering, they were open to hire people from any city as long as they are talented and driven people. So it helped us increase the opportunities for anywhere, people living in anywhere in Turkey. It helped us increase our attendance rates, actually, because it was easier for people to attend the classes online. And it helped us innovate, basically, because we had to introduce, for example, office hours during the weekdays. And I'm so proud that actually our alumni who was already graduated from Kodluyoruz, who already had a job in the sector, they told us, hey, I want to support my new sisters, brothers, they came to the office hours during the week and answered their questions. They mentored them. So we kind of innovated here, and it helps us increase this number. And another innovation that we brought is, we said, okay, this is a time that people will be stuck in the houses. We have to provide more opportunities to them. And then I've actually emphasized this path idea. So there should be a path that you have to show people that they can walk through. But one of the things that is really lacking in Turkey is people sometimes don't know where to start. And we received so many questions about, hey, I want to come to bootcamp, but I don't know where to start improving myself. When you look at any 19, 20-year-old person in Turkey, when you look at their resume, you will see so many online classes that they take, but they are so all over the place. They don't know where to start, how to continue progressing and everything. So we said, okay, we have to show people maybe one of the best places to start with if they are interested in this career. And then we approached the Harvard University. They have a course called Introduction to Computer Science. It is the best course in the world about it. It is taught by David Mellon, which is a legendary professor. We said that, hey, we want to, your course is great. It is free, but it is in English. So let us translate it into Turkish. Let us dub it, not only subtitles, but we dubbed it with a, studio, and opened it to everyone for free in Turkey. And we received amazing demands about it. So right now, all around Turkey, not only Turkey, but other countries too, people are taking the class. And then after they come to a level at CS50, we accept them to bootcamps or directly place them into jobs. So it became an amazing opportunity. So really, like, COVID forced us to innovate faster than we were planning to. It's kind of helped us expand more and more quickly. Of course, it had a lot of negative effects on people, and I'm really sorry about that. But for us, because we are in tech business, it didn't have too many negative impact on our growth and potential.
That's great. And one of our viewers, Pathos, was asking if it was a virtual community, and it sounds like you have built that, and that people from all over the world are able to connect with Kodluyoruz and the participants in it.
Yeah, exactly. If they go to our website, and at the bottom there is a Discord link. Discord is if people don't know, it's an online tool that really, especially young generation, really loves. So we have more than 6,000 people there, not only our students, but also other developers in the country as well. And yeah, they can socialize there. Actually, it's amazing. Right now, every day there is an event on Discord. There's either English-speaking clubs, Turkish people coming together and speaking English to improve their skills, because developers really need to know English very well. There are sometimes book clubs. There is Pomodoro sessions, meaning people come together and work together, either opening their cameras or closing their cameras. So they're like, okay, I need to study, I need to work, but I'm not motivated enough to do it myself. So let's come together and study together. So there are those sessions. So there is a lot of events every day. So yeah, they can join there.
That sounds great. So as we come close to the end of our discussion here, I did want to draw attention to our call of action. As all of our viewers know, the Voices of Partners also really highlights the opportunity where you can actually contribute to organizations like Kodluyoruz. And so TPF is working with Kodluyoruz on supporting Bootcamp, which we've heard about, and something called CS50. I think that's correct. Is that right, Gülcan?
Yeah, that is the class we translated from Harvard. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. And so I think we'll have a banner up. Yes, we have the banner up where you can make a contribution there. And as we close out, I'd love to hear from both of you about kind of your thoughts about Kodluyoruz and the future of STEM in Turkey. Maybe Gülcan, we can start with you.
Yeah, so as we said with Alp, like there's a huge potential that we see right now. Every day with everyone that I'm meeting, I see a huge potential, and they are very driven people. So we need to just provide the opportunity to Turkish youth. That is very clear to us. And another thing is that right now Kodluyoruz is innovating in Turkey in many aspects. So we are trying to educate people in something that is kind of hard to do. You know, it is not easy to be a developer. It's not easy to build a new career from sometimes zero. You know, we have students coming from economics degrees or from philosophy departments. They are not all engineers. Like 40% of our students are coming from different disciplines. And they are able to do it. They are able to really find good jobs. But I want to say that what we are doing, we are trying to educate people in something, in a skill that they really need to find employment and to build their lives on. And it's not an easy job. We are talking about education. We are looking at all these universities, all these high schools, and a huge education system that's not able to figure it out. And right now we are coming and saying that let us experiment here and let us talk with young people about what they need. And I would say that I'm not going to be humble here. I'm going to say that Kodluyoruz team is probably one of the teams in Turkey that is interacting with the youth directly every day. Every day I am talking maybe at least 5-10 people and listening to what they are going through. And this is powerful because we are never bringing up a solution like, okay, let's try this. Let's just do an open course, like online course, and expect people to complete it. We never do that because we know that people need community and people need a path and people need psychological support too in this process. They cannot be alone. It cannot be a lonely pathway. So I would say thank you to Turkish Philanthropy Funds for supporting us to that. This experimentation part is not easy, and I hope that people would continue support us do this and really provide this thing like this. You know, it is, as I say, it is not only about courses, it's about all this ecosystem that we are supporting people through. And thank you, Alp, and all these people at TPF supporting us. That is really, really important. I would just need to say that. And if anybody watching this want to learn about it, want to learn more about, hey, what is how do you figure it out? Because it's not easy both to educate people and place them into jobs, both make both youth and the employer happy. It is not easy thing. If you want to learn more about it, if you want to contribute into it, I would love to talk with them and, share what we have learned in this journey. And I am sure that if we continue receiving this support and if you keep believing in us, I think there's nothing we cannot achieve with so many bright people.
I wholeheartedly agree. That was very well put. The last word is with you.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, as Gülcan mentioned, I think, and as we've been talking about, so there's so many opportunities in this industry. And I think with COVID and whatnot, I think you're going to see I think it's going to be even more prominent that, which school you graduated from, what degrees you have, even what titles you have, is going to be less and less important, right? It's about what kind of problems have you solved in the past? What kind of skills do you have? If you were to go through an interview loop, can you essentially solve the problem that you get asked, or can you do the projects from where you are? Can you contribute to software projects from, because it doesn't matter whether you're in Urfa today or whether you're in Seattle. Look, I'm working for Microsoft from my home, and it's going to become more and more like this going forward. I think this we're going to see this this trend to oh, what happened?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, there you go. Sorry. So this trend is going to only speed up, and so I think I want to I think what Kodluyoruz does is I kind of when I talk to people from, let's say, from the smaller parts of the, like, the smaller cities in Turkey, when I see the passion in them, when I see the hope in them, that's what I love about Kodluyoruz. It says essentially sparks that hope in people, that or these young people, that hey, there is a path and actually we can do it, and it kind of encourages them. The organization encourages them to seize it, to work hard, and to learn, and to self-learn as well. And yes, I mean, I applaud them for this kind of for the work that they are doing. And I want to thank Gülcan and team, and to Turkish Philanthropy Funds, to you, Emir Hanım, again, like, I mean, the fact that you're doing it for us, we love you, and the and all the organizations in Turkey that do in that actually people can contribute to, not just Kodluyoruz. There's a lot of organizations as well, and I want to thank all of you and all those organizations, all the TPF. You're a witness; they are not here, but you hear me. So we want to thank all of them. So, and to all the people who are listening, our friends who actually want to be in this field. There's a lot to be done here. There's a lot to learn here. They can accomplish a lot. They can change their lives. They can in turn, hopefully down the line, they can do a pay it forward as well, and help others as well. This is all about that. I mean, we have all limited time here. It's about what are you gonna do in your limited time. I think if you kind of have that kind of if you can kind of hold that close to heart, I think we can accomplish a lot. So thank you all.
Great. Well, I thank you, and I thank Gülcan, and I thank the viewers who have tuned in. This was another really terrific discussion of Voices with Partners, and this will be the last one for 2020, and we will resume our discussions with Turkish Philanthropy Funds partners in early January. So please be on the lookout on social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And definitely go to our website, which is tpfund.org. You can donate to Kodluyoruz and see the other partners that we have supporting a variety of different areas in Turkey. Until next time, I'm your host, Elmira Bayraslı, and I look forward to seeing you again.